Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Social Podcast. We're on episode 4 now, I believe. Times are flying, and so are the Euros. Today it is myself, Nick Golding, and Duka Dobma. As you can see, Jamie's not here. We're doing well. I think we've done one episode so far with all three of us. We hope.
I mean, that's the best we're going to get. We're all working full time minutes, so as long as we get two of us on, it's all right.
Jamie's not working. I mean, if based on, we don't know where Jamie is, to be quite honest. The last thing I saw.
You know what? I'm going to screen record his Snapchat story, and I'm going to send it to you. Put it in here. That's where he is. That's what he's doing. He's ditched the podcast to look at views.
Well, I'm not going to lie. The last thing he put in his Snapchat was a dead jellyfish and some hills. So he could be.
He could be anywhere. He really could be anywhere.
He could be anywhere, and he could be recording the Sports Social Podcast with us right now. But no, instead he's looking.
He could do it with a nice view in the background as well, couldn't he?
I know. Honestly, we've got our background, like just our houses. He could have I don't know.
He can have the hills, the valleys.
The valley, the dead jellyfish. I don't care anything. Right. Anyway, Duka.
Yes.
Let's get on with it, mate, because it's been probably one of the nuttiest knockout rounds of a major international competition that I've ever known in my lifetime, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I don't really want to speak about it.
Let's get on with it, because there's one game in particular that I know you're going to want to talk about. But let's get started with, obviously, the first game that happened in the Euro knockouts, the last 16, was Wales-Denmark. See Denmark running out 4-0. For me, Denmark at the moment, because of what happened with Ericsson, like the way they've carried on and held their heads so high and taken their game to another level. Yes, they're playing with so much emotion, but for me, they are arguably the team of the tournament because of what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's also the players, and they've stood up to the mark, not on a football level, but also on a football level, but not just a football level. They've also stood up on a humanity level.
Yeah.
The courage of Simon Kjær and Kasper Schmeichel, helping getting the team together, surrounding Christian Eriksen when the cameras were viewing it, supporting Christian Eriksen's wife when she was on the pitch, and just stuff like that. I think by far they're the team of the tournament in the sense that they've proved how good footballers can be as humans, as well as just being footballers. And it's fantastic. And Denmark fully deserved that win as well, by the way. Wales are absolutely dire. They were dross.
They did get shafted a little bit with the second goal, though. Because
you can say they got shafted, but they got run over. They got run over by Denmark. They got absolutely run over by Denmark. Absolutely run over. Denmark are so underrated. They're so underappreciated as a footballing side as well. You look at the players they've got, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. I can see them beating Czech Republic in the quarterfinals as well, and going on to the semis. Denmark really are an underappreciated side.
Yeah, at the end of the day, for Wales, making the knockouts was a good achievement for them, obviously, because they didn't have the easiest group in the world.
No.
But did you see Bale's press conference afterwards, the interview? The one where he got
I did see bits of it.
Well, walked off.
Yeah, just walked away, didn't he? After being asked if this is his last tournament or something, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you make?
I think at that time he's just lost 4-0 to Denmark. I don't think he wants to be asked if this is his last international tournament. I think the bloke's only just early 30s or maybe even late 20s. I don't know how old Gareth Bale is.
He's got to be early 30s now, surely. You'd have thought. I would have thought he's 30, 31. I'm not sure.
Yeah, somewhere around that. I reckon he's around the 30 mark. But a player of his quality and his age, he's still got a few more years left in him.
31.
31, yeah.
31.
So he's got a few more years left in him for sure. I think it's a stupid question to bring up in a press conference, if I'm honest. It's not going to be his last tournament. Why ask him when he's just lost 4-0?
It might be, because think about it, if Wales don't qualify for the World Cup next year, his next opportunity won't be till 2024. By that point, he'll be 34 or 33, 34. So
I see what
coming along.
Yeah, potentially it could be, but yeah. Denmark deserves it.
Who do you think, when Bale does eventually, because there's no argument, Bale is obviously the talisman for Wales. Yeah. When Bale does eventually hang up his boots for his country, whether that is now, and I know he did say afterwards that he'll play for Wales until he retires from football. We've heard a lot of players say that about the national team.
Yeah.
When Bale does go, who almost takes his place? Where the Wales then look for their main man?
Their inspiration, they don't. I mean, Aaron Ramsey is a shout.
He's getting
Um,
early 30s as well. Now you'd thought.
yeah, I think looking at the prospects that they've got, I think you've got to be asking questions about Dan James. Is he going to be that man? Is he going to be the next Gareth Bale? He's got the same qualities as Bale, apart from the strength and the height that Bale has possessed.
Yeah,
he's quick. He can score goals. Dan James, he's proven that at Swansea and Manchester United. And he actually looked okay in the Euros as well, Dan James. I was actually quite impressed with him in a Wales shirt. So yeah, it may be, the next few years when Bale does retire and Wales need that talisman, hopefully it's then time for Dan James to step up.
And obviously Denmark go through to the next round to play Czech Republic, who, we'll talk about them a bit more in a while. Italy, Austria. Italy, obviously, extra time that game went to. Italy obviously ran out 2-1 winners just.
Yeah.
I think all of a sudden, obviously after the group stage, obviously the last time you were on obviously the groups hadn't yet finished. Obviously Italy pretty much ran right in their group. I think all of a sudden Austria made Italy look like a very normal team.
Very bang average, yeah. Look, Italy are still a very, very good side. They still absolutely top their group. They had the likes of Switzerland, who beat France in their group as well. Absolutely top them. It could have just been an off day for Italy, and I think it was just an off day for Italy. And that's when you see the best teams in the tournament. Even if you have an off day and you still win, in 120 minutes of football, by the way, you still win, it shows how good of a side they are. Austria played brilliantly. I saw them playing against Netherlands in the group stage. They were shit. They were utter shit.
They played all tournament against Italy, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's the best they've played all tournament, and that's because they had nothing to lose. They wanted to go out, they wanted to win, they wanted to prove something. And they tried, they failed in the end, but they gave it a good go and they gave a good account of themselves. And Italy are lucky to get through because Austria dominated the 90 minutes of football. But Italy have that quality at the end to I guess see it out.
And I guess obviously the next game for Italy is really their first proper test against Belgium. Moving on to the next game, and I'm just gonna because I think you might be talking about this one for about 10 minutes. Holland, Czech Republic. Just gonna when you're ready, mate.
Yeah, Frank de Boer, I hate him. Passion. He's gone. I think just Holland's immature, like the immaturity in the Dutch side, just kind of came out in this game. The quality is there. It's a lot of young players, though. There is a lot of young players, and they're liable to mistakes. Donyell Marlon and Matthijs de Ligt being the two. I think there was a crazy stat being like 17 seconds between that 1-on-1 that Donyell Marlon missed and the
how did he miss that? Like, how?
Your guess is as good as mine. I was head and hands on that, and then I looked up, and then Matthijs de Ligt just handballed it, and it was.
To be fair,
it weren't great. As soon as I saw it happen, it was a red card. I knew it, and it's just from then on in, it's game over.
It was done though, wasn't it? Like
he could just put his body on top of the ball.
Well, take one for the team, like lay on it or something. Just don't.
Exactly, you might hurt yourself. You might be out for the next game, but at least we've got 11 players on the pitch. We still play the same system because the fact is, the ball doesn't have a plan B, and he's been, he's left Holland, the managerial role at Holland. Thank God as well. I don't want him there. No Dutch fan does want him there. We missed the days of Louis van Gaal, even Ronald Koeman previously. He looked like he was a good manager. He was actually going to take us places.
Till Barcelona.
Yeah, thank Christ he's gone because he didn't have a plan B when we did go down to 10 men because we just capitulated. But take nothing away from Czech Republic. They put in a solid performance. Patrick Schick is a quality striker. We know what he does possess, and fair play to him. They're in the next round.
It won't surprise me if a few clubs or someone the year isn't on come sniffing at Schick because he actually looks like there are a few strikers as well who not really many people have heard of. Obviously, Schick being one of them. Isaac from Sweden. Like, there's a few that I think all of a sudden are going to get a lot of attention from the big clubs across Europe. Yeah,
I think they will just because of performing on the biggest stages in the world. And that's the thing. If you're a young player that's playing for a club that maybe isn't, in the highlights as much, but goes onto the international level where, you're all over every TV screen and performs, of course you're going to get that attention. Of course you're going to attract clubs. It's only natural.
Focusing on the Netherlands for a second, obviously, Frank de Boer's left. In your opinion, as a Dutchman yourself, does the Dutch FA stick with a Dutch manager, like they've said with Koeman, De Boer,
100%.
Van Gaal, or do they go for an international manager? Like that's
Dutch manager.
something that Belgium have done to a really high level of success with Martinez.
Have they won a European competition with it though,
Well,
or a World Cup competition?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
the things that you saying obviously you want.
I've never watched Holland though with a Dutch manager, and I've seen success in that sort of era. Bert van Marwijk back in 2010 took us to a 2010 World Cup final. We lost, but the fact is we were never expected to be there. We were playing John fucking Heitinger at centre back. You know what I mean? We were never expected to be there. And then in 2014 we finished third. We were playing Ron bloody Vlaar at centre half. We were never expected to finish there. You know what I mean? Because the fact is the Dutch way of football, Dutch managers, because they've been like some, the majority of them are ex-professionals, and they've played that Dutch style of football, total football. They've played it, so they know what it means. And I want a Dutch manager to come to do it. Again, Frank de Boer wasn't the right man. We've seen him at Crystal Palace. He got sacked in what, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was like that, wasn't it? It was so stupid.
Exactly. I want someone with maybe a bit of managerial quality. Get Louis van Gaal back.
You reckon?
I want Louis van Gaal back.
All right. If not him, who else is out there? Because do you think he would come back?
100%. I think he's out of a job at the minute. I don't know if he's managing anyone else.
I don't know. I thought he was in China.
Well, he might be, but
I thought he was in China.
I want him back at the international stage, 100%.
All right, let's say he's in China, because I don't actually know quite where he is, to be quite honest. Who knows where in the conversation, where is Van Gaal? Is he on the beach? Is he? I don't know. If he's not around, who do the Dutch go for? Who is there?
Do you know what? Wesley Sneijder.
Really?
Get Wesley Sneijder as manager. One of the smartest footballers to have played in the past 2 decades for Holland. And we've seen at the international stage, Wesley Sneijder performs.
Yeah.
Wesley Sneijder performs. And I'm very open for him to become Dutch manager.
Well, if it happens, Duke Dogma said it first.
Happens. Well, we do know what happens when we want to say things, though.
Yeah, no. So
sometimes they come true.
I was looking back and it's like when we did our predictions of who's going to win. You said Holland, I said Germany, and Jamie said France.
I think I said Italy, didn't I?
I think you won Holland, but yeah. So at the moment, it's only you left.
I'm going to change it by the end of this.
You did say Dumfries was going to get Golden Boot. Then you said, before that it was Weghorst was going to get Golden Boot.
He scored 1.
Yeah.
Dumfries scored 2. I mean, to be fair, I did put £3 on Dumfries to win Golden Boot. Just never came in, did it? Well, as soon as I put that bet on, he didn't score another goal. So
always next year if you qualify.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Belgium, Portugal. Good game this actually. Belgium obviously won.
Yeah, very tactically played out by the pair of them.
Didn't have the goals, but it was like those.
It had the excitement. It had the chances. Portugal dominated this, by the way. Yes. Portugal absolutely dominated this. Very unlucky, but I think that was sort of Belgium's game plan. Get that goal, sit back, defend. Because the fact is, Belgium can't play that free-flowing attacking football with the quality that Portugal have going forward. Yeah. They've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Belgium's defence isn't that good. Realistically, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld.
They're past it.
They're past it. So Cristiano Ronaldo was always going to run rings around it because Cristiano Ronaldo is on his prime.
They were playing Thomas Vermaelen at centre back and all.
Yeah, Thomas Vermaelen was playing centre back. I forgot he was still even. I forgot he was even playing international football or football alone.
Is he still at Barca?
No, I think he's in I want to say he's in China now as well. He was at Barca, but yeah,
he was.
But this is the thing, though. If you've got those 3 centre backs, they're not really going to stand a chance against Cristiano Ronaldo and whoever else they're playing. Diogo Jota. Can't remember who was playing on the right. Bernardo Silva. Yeah. And players like that, they wouldn't really stand a chance if they played their free-flowing attacking football. But because they got that goal, sat back, defended, all dug in deep, they were able to grind it out. And it was a tactical masterclass for Belgium.
And to be arguably, it's probably going to be quite a similar style of game against Italy.
Yeah, they're going to try and play that way, but I think they'll struggle to break Italy down a lot more. I think defensively, Italy looked a lot better than what Portugal did. I remember Portugal did ship in 4 to a very poor Germany side.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be an interesting encounter between the two of them.
Of course, that's on Friday. Now we come up to I would say the game of the tournament, but then possibly the game that after this might be the game of the tournament. Croatia,
It's
Spain.
argument for both, isn't it?
Croatia, Spain, 5-3 Spain.
How Spain didn't win this in normal time, by the way, is beyond me. You know, Spain were the dominant team. They controlled the game and then bottled it.
Right.
Luckily, obviously, they have. I think they just got the quality in the side to actually see that game out and win 5-3 in extra time. But
nuts.
yeah, do you know what? Spain deserved it. But you know, fair play to Croatia for putting up a good fight. It was arguably, like you say, the game of the tournament. It's fantastic to watch.
From a neutral, it was just like I was watching on my lunch break. I think at work. I think I only get half hour, but they end up taking like an hour just because I was like, I went to fill up my water bottle and came I left and it was 3-1, and I came back and it was 3-all or something stupid in the space of like 10 minutes. It was just nuts. Like every time I come back, there was another goal. Spain though, yes, okay, they've proven that they can't really defend.
No, they can't defend, but they can score goals.
They've obviously got 5 goals down there. Games. And obviously Spain go up against Switzerland. Spain, I think all of a sudden they're changing. Yes, they can't defend, but they're changing people's opinion on them in the competition because they could win it now because defensively they're shocking and they do need to shock.
They can score 10 goals in 2 games. 10 goals in 2 games for you. But yeah, like you say, defensively they're not there. Going forward, yeah, they are, but whether they've got enough to, stop the likes of Belgium in the semis or Italy if they do beat Switzerland, where they've got that sort of defensive quality, stop the attack, because the attacks that these 2 teams have are a lot better than the likes of Croatia, Sweden, Poland, and Slovakia, who they've played in the group stages. So it's whether they'll be able to cope with that. I reckon they'll get to the semis. Yeah, I reckon they'll haven't too much for Switzerland, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't see them getting much further than that.
And then France, Switzerland.
Yeah, this for me was the game of the tournament. I was watching it downstairs, and everyone, you all expected France to win. And I said this to Jamie, I think in the second podcast. France won't win the Euros. I don't see what's so special about them. I really don't. And this game proved it for me. Individual quality got France a 3-1 lead. Paul Pogba, Karim Benzema, that individual quality.
That Pogba strike, that goal
was incredible. It was incredible, but that was all individual quality. And that Karim Benzema goal, the touch and then the finish, that was all Karim Benzema. It was individual quality. We didn't really see France sort of prove it where they're scoring fantastic team goals, moving the ball quick, a bit of being sharp and being ruthless. We didn't see that. And Switzerland had that heart, that desire. And Granit Xhaka, by the way, what a player he is in the Switzerland shirt. What a player he is. That bloke was pinging passes left, right, and centre, splitting open that France defence. This France defence, on paper, is arguably the best defence in the Euros. What I've seen from the Euros so far, it's arguably the worst defence in the Euros. And I won't hear different. Raphael Varane is an absolute fraud.
But he's not been playing, has he? He's not been playing. It's looking like
he's been playing. He's been in that France show. He was in the heart of that France defence against Switzerland, and he's a fraud. As is Kimpembe. As is whoever played alongside. I think it was Hernandez. All frauds. They are all frauds.
These days, Kurt Zuma,
Exactly. And Kylian Mbappe is just a poster boy.
With Mbappe though, there was the whole thing before the Euros about the spat between him and Giroud. I do think that whole thing is just played on his head this entire competition, because he's not been the player that he was literally in the season just gone.
It just stinks of what happened to France in the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
They finished runners up the World Cup before that, and there was a whole bust up in the training ground. Can't remember who it with. I think Nicolas Anelka was involved, and they got knocked out in the group stages. This whole bust up must have had a knock-on effect for the whole team, and they just weren't the France of the 2018 World Cup at all. And they weren't great. And Switzerland showed that heart. They showed that desire. They showed that willingness to be brave, be courageous off the ball and on the ball. And they deserved it. And credit to them. I hope they do well in the rest of the tournament.
Well, seeing that you said with the heart and desire, they're going to need that again against Spain, because looking at it now, you can see that already being like another 4-3 or so ridiculous.
Yeah, you really can. We're saying this now. It's probably going to be a 0-0 all the way to penalties, and that's going to be it.
It's probably we say that, but I think looking at the quarterfinal games, that's probably the one I look at and think, that's just got goals written all over it.
Goals in it, yeah.
Because neither can defend. Moving on to England, Germany.
Yeah, England deserved this completely.
Southgate, best teacher.
I don't. Southgate tactically set it up to win, but for me, the players played out their skins. The only thing I would change for Ukraine, which to be fair to Ukraine is a completely different challenge. But if we go with the same formation, which I think we should, because I do think that's a 3-4-3, I do think is our strongest formation. I do think that Reece James has got to be starting over Trippier purely because it's just getting the ball into the box. So too many times it was, there was Kane on the back post, or making the runs through the penalty spot, and Trippier would just take an extra touch, or he'd suddenly cut back in. Whereas Reece James is just whipping that ball in. Yeah,
it's just that final ball. Because to be honest, it could have been more than two, and obviously Muller
had a chance.
If there was one I was seeing, watching all the interviews afterwards, and if there's one player you would have wanted that to fall to, it's Muller.
Exactly, Muller's a cultured player when it comes to international competitions. He's
still played 21
in 2010. He scored 5 goals. He won Golden Boot. I think. I don't think he won Golden Boot. I think he won something or another that tour. He might have won Golden Boot. I don't know. But he burst on the scene then, and he's been fantastic ever since in a Germany shirt. And didn't step up on the mark this tournament, but I don't think Germany stepped up on the mark.
They had flashes. They had that kind of 5-minute spell against Hungary where they were unbelievable, and they had that 30-minute period against Portugal, and that's pretty much been it. They did in the first half begin to take over the game, and then obviously the second half it just flipped on its head, and England just kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, definitely. But England deserved it. England were fantastic, and do you know what they're good? And I'm going to say this now. I said earlier I'm going to change my prediction. Who's going to win the Euros? It's going to be England.
You think
England win the Euros? Yeah, football's coming home.
To be honest, Ukraine. Obviously, we're getting to Ukraine now. So Ukraine beat Sweden 2-1. Another really good game.
Holland beat Ukraine without Lit and Van Dijk. So you should win, and if you don't,
they're a dangerous team. Ukraine. Obviously, got Zinchenko, Yarmolenko. They have got
they have got some decent players,
real quality, and they're one of those teams.
Aren't they? They're a very gritty side to play against.
Well, they are, and it's the same as Sweden. To be fair, even Forsberg, I lost track.
An incredible tournament,
but Ukraine, England, it's not an automatic, and also because it's not at Wembley. That game's at Rome, and there's significantly less England fans because of the whole COVID situation in Italy, making the people from the UK quarantine. It's not a walkover, that game.
No, it's not, and it's not. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But Ukraine, we'll go on to that game.
Saying like Switzerland and the Czech Republic, nothing to lose because nobody really expects them to bowl. No one expects all three finished in third place.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think Portugal are the only third place team who didn't get past the last 16.
Yeah,
just nuts.
Mental. But Ukraine are decent. They're they weren't against Holland, but they've got the attacking players to score goals when they need to score goals. And we saw that in the 121st minute when they scored. Did you see the red card, by the way, in that game?
I did, and
it's a horrible challenge.
Did you see that on Twitter? Gary Lineker was saying that's never a red card in my book.
I don't know what books he's reading.
He went off on one saying the player got the ball and then accidentally got the player. That's not a red card, but
his foot,
maybe not.
His foot was up there.
And that's it's just he got the ball first, absolutely fine. However,
he's followed through. It's force on a man like that. His leg just it just gives me gives down my spine when I think about it. But no, Ukraine deserved to win.
That tackle's wiping out a toddler. It was. Yeah, when you get a chance, look at Twitter. Gary Lineker, it was, I don't know if he's deleted it.
Yeah, I think I saw it earlier. I saw it earlier. It's mental.
Yeah, then Piers Morgan got involved in a bunch of photography. It was kind of nuts. So you're now saying basically England are going to win the Euros.
Yeah,
but that's not something you're going to say.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, we're gonna let's see what happens after Ukraine. Right, I'm not getting my hopes up just yet because it's happened before. Moving away from the Euros, but sticking with football, the Premier League never seems to sleep, and at the moment it's no different. Not because of player transfers, but because of manager transfers. Palace, actually no, let's start with Everton because they've actually fully announced it today.
Yeah.
Rafa Benitez, only the second ever manager who would have managed both Liverpool and Everton. It's not gone down very well.
I don't think Everton fans want him there, and I don't think Liverpool fans want Benitez there. Benitez won the Champions League with them back in 2005.
I don't get it. I don't get the move, to be honest.
I don't get it. I think Benitez is just looking for jobs now. He's just job hunting, taking anything that comes to him.
I think they're in. I think Ancelotti got them in a really good position to go ahead and get a young manager.
Like an Eddie Howe or even Scott Parker, who's now at Bournemouth.
Obviously, we'll get onto that in a bit. Yeah. So that's another one I don't quite understand. But I think Ancelotti did so well to kind of mould the Everton team quite quickly because, when he joined them, they were on the back of a really poor season. And Ancelotti kind of moulded them into this team that obviously, a challenge.
He got Calvert-Lewin scoring, didn't he?
Yeah. They were in a really good place to get a young manager who could take them forward for the next 5 or 6 years. Whether that's an Eddie Howe, Scott Parker. I was even thinking you could even throw not necessarily he's young, but Nuno into it. To be honest, that's the kind of similar playing style to Wolves a little bit. But Benitez, I
don't get it at all.
Don't get me wrong. In his time, he was an unbelievable manager. Can't fault him, but that football's changed since then. And he's, I don't know, where's he? He's been China, hasn't he? He's another one. He's been managing in China and
he's been bloody everywhere now, hasn't he?
It's a step up.
Yeah, no, it's a poor move. It's a poor move.
3-year deal.
What? Sorry,
it's a 3-year deal, 3-year contract.
I can't see Everton fans being happy. I can't see Liverpool fans being happy. This is not a good move from the club at all. It's not a good move. Just as you're winning fans back over after you got a better season than what has been. You appoint a manager that's won your biggest rival, the Champions League.
I mean, another manager whose name I'm surprised wasn't thrown into the mix is actually Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Because
Frank Lampard. He's obviously linked with Crystal Palace job, hasn't he? But it's now Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, this is too. You yawning there just sums up kind of the football that I imagine Everton fans are going to be watching.
Yeah, near enough. That was quite a long day.
Yeah, tell me about it. We'll now move on to the rumours that look pretty certain now. Crystal Palace, like you said, Patrick Vieira. The job was really heavily linked with Frank Lampard. And it looked like it was going to be Lampard at one point. But Vieira, I like this move a lot. I think it's
great. I think it's great. At least not getting an old manager who's going to play dinosaur-style football. Patrick Vieira is young, knows how to play exciting football. Remember, he was part of that Invincible squad. Of course, he knows how to play exciting football. Hasn't got too much experience, but let's see what he can do.
And it's not even like he's probably going to be under much pressure at Palace because I think no matter who's the manager at Palace, they're going to always stay up. They're one of those clubs that no matter who's in charge, they will always just do enough, which is kind of what they've done under Hodgson for the last few years. But I think Vieira is actually, I think Arteta, I was saying this to Jack, one of my mates, but actually I do think Arsenal will be keeping a really close eye on how he does there. Because if Arteta, has another season like Arsenal, like he has this season or last season, however you want to look at it, I can seriously see Arsenal snapping up Vieira.
I don't think that'll work.
No, I can see it happen.
Arsenal
would be the dream job in the Premier League.
It depends how Vieira does, actually. It depends how Vieira does. If he gets good experience, 3 years under his belt at Palace and does well, maybe brings Palace on a Europa League.
3 years, though. I can't see him there 3 years.
We'll see what happens, won't we? Obviously, Hodgson was there for a fair bit of time.
Yeah, but that's, in his career. But I think it's a really good move. And I think the midfield players, I always say it. Is it Eze? I always say his name wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be so good for him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The
100%.
signings as well. We got to think, Vieira, managing Palace. That's going to attract some, maybe not necessarily, top class players, but it should really help, them to.
Yeah, you're playing a different style of football. You're not playing hoofball. You're playing what's going to be hopefully exciting football under Vieira, and it's going to be better than what was on the Hodgson. So it will attract, players from abroad to come to the Premier League to play some more exciting football. But yeah, what other? Oh, Scott Parker.
Well, Scott Parker and obviously
Nuno.
Nuno, which it looks apparently according to Fabrizio, it's pretty much about to be pen to paper.
Have you given it? Here we go.
Here we go. Nearly. It's a weird one. I mean, to be honest, they've got.
It was always going to happen. He's been linked with a job for a long time. Good month and a bit.
I think Spurs are on a really quick backward spiral.
Oh yeah, they are. Spurs need. Levy needs to leave. They need a whole rebrand of the team. Oh no, he won't. Something's going to happen where he's going. I can see it happening, but at the minute, Spurs on the downward spiral, like you say, they could really, really head down to the depths of English football, back into the Championship potentially. In a few years, definitely. Why not?
That'd be the best thing ever. But I can just see Nuno doing what? Who was it? I can't remember what manager it was. It might have been. Oh, what Pochettino did, where he literally just went back and just signed loads of Southampton. I can see Nuno just going to look at Wolves and just signing, or just looking at them for their main signings.
Look at Ruben Neves to strengthen the midfield. Absolutely.
Traore, he's been linked with Chelsea though.
It could be an interesting one. He has been, yeah, because of the whole Hakimi stuff. But yeah,
bad for the club then. So Nuno bad for the club?
No, he's good.
Europa League.
You what? Sorry.
Europa League.
Yeah, do you know what? I reckon Spurs will,
but not champions.
I think Nuno plays exciting football.
Not enough for UCL.
There's got to be a whole rebrand of the squad before they'll get anywhere near the Champions League.
Dropping down to the Championship.
Season.
You're obviously the most knowledgeable person around on the Championship, I heard. Scott Parker obviously was and has been for the last few years now manager of recently relegated Fulham.
Yeah,
has gone to last season promotion chasing Bournemouth. Weird one, another weird one in my opinion.
I don't know why he's left Fulham. Fulham loved him. He loved Fulham. He was doing good things at Fulham. He was building up a team there. Yeah, you know what? He's unlucky. He got relegated. They deserve better because they actually played decent football.
And he made smart signings. He made some smart signings, but you've got to look as well at the Fulham at Craven Cottage just getting renovated. It's having the one. I can't think what stand it was. Having one of the stands redone.
It's going simple, wasn't it?
Yes, and actually the stadium was looking really nice. And he's gone to Bournemouth, which, don't get me wrong, another good club, solid club, but he won't have the same money at his disposal. Smaller stadium, you would have thought smaller fan base. It's almost like he's gone there, in my opinion, because he doesn't expect Fulham to get promotion, but he expects Bournemouth to.
Money talks.
You reckon it's money?
Of course it's money. It's Bournemouth. They can pump money into things. That's why they won't get rid of Danjuma, because they can afford to keep hold of him.
Yeah, true. And also a little bit of news, I guess. Well, not Championship, but also we'll talk about Championship promotion or promoted side, Norwich. Are pretty much set to sign Chelsea's Billy Gilmour on loan.
Yeah, that's done deal. He's after isolation. He's completing his medical when it's done.
Happy?
Yeah, very happy. Quality player. Well, it'd be a good move for Chelsea as well. He'll start every game. He won't start, but this is the thing. You can love him as much as you like, but is he going to get minutes under Tuchel?
Annoyingly, no. But this is what surprised me. Is actually towards the end of the season, he was starting to get minutes, and in my opinion, he is good enough to start. Like I want him to play. I can't say
he's being allowed to go out on loan. if he's allowed to been getting out alone, surely that says to you that Tuchel won't give him minutes.
Yes, possibly, but I mean, the thing that worries me is obviously, Chelsea have kind of got a bit of a tendency at the moment to be loaning out world-class players. Tomori, I will never forgive the club over Tomori.
Norwich won't be signing Billy Gilmore in the permanent. It's Norwich, not AC Milan.
Well, yeah, I know.
I mean, just as good as, but not quite.
Let's step away from the Premier League and the Euros. Sticking with football for a second, because there's been an announcement today. Don't think you know yet. So DAZN have been announced as the official broadcasting partner of the UEFA Women's Champions League, and it will be shown for the next 4 years live, free to watch on YouTube. Massive for women's football.
Massive for women's football, that. Yeah, if it's on free broadcast, free on channels.
Across the world, no, obviously.
On YouTube, obviously. It's available for the whole world to watch and get involved with, really, as well.
Because DAZN are obviously on a mad one, because they've also recently put loads of investment into their boxing coverage as well. Laura Woods, Mark Drama, Costello, what's his name? Tony Bellew. Like, there's obviously all of a sudden DAZN are, trying to make massive leaps.
They're trying to be the next they're trying to be that next broadcasting company that just take the world by storm, and they have, and they are. But yeah, no, fantastic for women's football though, fantastic.
And if this could be the thing that really it does boost them to the next level, because I mean the amount of money people have to spend to watch, the men's Champions League is absurd, it's stupid. The likes of BT aren't cheap. But obviously more and more people as well having to result to illegal streams, and whereas making the women's free to wear, it's going to obviously the fact they've done this will plough a lot of money into it. And it'd be interesting to see in 4 years' time where this would have put women's football.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully, people watching it, the numbers will improve, the numbers will go up, and people, females getting involved with football, that will go up.
Yeah.
And then as will the quality of the game in that area as well.
Stepping away from football, got any final remarks on football?
No. Football's coming home.
Coming home. I mean, for me, it's coming home. For you, it's
Oh, I'm adopted England fan for the rest of the Euros. It's fine.
Right now, okay. Tennis, take your fancy?
No, it doesn't. To be honest,
doesn't surprise me, mate. Well, I'm going to talk about it anyway for a quick minute, because Andy Murray on Monday made his, long-awaited return to Wimbledon singles. Singles Dukkha is when it's one person playing against another. The
word single did kind of give that away. I can't lie.
Mate. He's not played singles at Wimbledon since 2017. So, it's been 4-year wait. And obviously, I imagine all the surgery and all that he's had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazingly won his first round match despite the roof getting closed. He should have done it so much earlier, because he was, I think, 5 games up in the third set and then bottled it in the first set. Then they had to closed the roof because of the rain. He went off. And I just love him. So he comes back on and wins the game and gets asked, what did he do during the break? He's like, I went for a shout and went for a number 1. And I was just like, I just thought it was funny.
Fair play. You've got to do what you got to do. He's an honest man.
He is, and obviously, but there's been a lot of, problems with Wimbledon, because there's been a lot of people complaining about the centre court, so the main court, which will have full capacity for the final. There's been a lot of players slipping over. Serena Williams had to retire because she slipped. I can't think who Roger Federer played, but his opponent had to retire because he slipped. Andy Murray slipped and had to have some treatment. So there's a few problems going on. So if tennis isn't your sport, is cycling?
No, but I used to cycle a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, before I could drive my car, I'd cycle a lot.
Well, the Tour de France is also going on. Final bit of story, final news of the day. And I imagine those watching, whether you like cycling or not, will probably have seen the madness that happened on the first stage, where a spectator, obviously Tour de France, the spectators literally can get as close to the road as they want. And a spectator got a little bit too close. Had a giant sign in French, which translated to grandma, grandpa, as you do, saying hi to grandma and grandpa, that you made on TV. Fair play. But what's not fair
They
play?
just made on TV, made it all over social media in the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be there for the rest of their life. Because at the moment, I believe they're currently in a jail cell because this woman pretty much caused one of the biggest crashes seen on Tour de France. It was like the domino effect. One person hits it, and then
The rest all follow.
it was ridiculous. They've been caught now as well. Actually, it's not known whether they got caught or handed themselves in because understandably,
I probably imagine if someone like that would have grandma or grandpa on a bit of cardboard just trying to get them, they'd probably hand themselves in just out of guilt and just feeling so bad for everyone.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, I don't watch cycling. Like, I just saw this and like, you just see this like 30 riders just laying on the floor. It's kind of nuts. And it's just, I was thinking, what other sports could you look at where fans can even get that close? Because there's now because also with the Tour de France, people are saying, oh, just bring in barriers for the fans. Well, when a course is like 300 kilometers long, kind of impossible.
Exactly. I mean, at the finish line, at the start line, I can kind of get it, especially towards the end of the whole Tour de France.
Yeah,
they'll obviously have the barriers up, but when they're going in the countryside and whatnot, really, no need.
I'll tell you what though, they'll never have this problem at the London Stadium.
They wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They would not.
Any closing words, mate?
Oh God. Norwich are gonna finish 17th in the Premier League, and England win the Euros, and Holland are winning the World Cup next year, and that is it.
That is it. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to like and subscribe. Trying to grow as quick as we can, and we'd appreciate all your support. Let us know in the comment section below. Really, anything you want to join into a discussion about that we spoke about on the podcast. Let us know as well anything that you like that we do, anything you don't like, because we want to be a podcast that you enjoy watching. And share us about, and we will see you in the next podcast. Have a good one. Bye.